Are you more volatile and negative, or are you more supportive and positive? And how's that working for your life? I'm Ann Morrison, and this is the Zenchen Studios. Welcome to morning meditation. I was taught the women sat in the kitchen, barred the men from entry, and cooked and served and had her own conversation in there that was not available to outside ears, whether it got heated or not. And the conversations were about other people. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Small people talk about other people. Regular people talk about the news. And grand people talk about ideas." I didn't know this for most of my early adulthood. And I gossiped. And I judged other people harshly, like I was taught to, like I was used to. It was the way things were done. And many of us have come from a different era, where our parents were celebrated for their control in every aspect of their children. And in today's day and age, they're celebrated for their ability to get the best out of their children. And I think the change is a good thing. Certainly glad another group of people does not have to go through control as an only issue, just because it is the norm for this group of people. I am. I'm judging the era in which I grew up in. And I'm saying that there are some things that are better now. And there's a lot of aspects to that. But me, as a person, I find myself not constantly on edge. And I find myself able to focus on something else. I find myself not wanting to judge other people. I want to understand them. And I think there was kind of a moment's turnaround for me in deciding that my attitudes towards the world were not helping me at all. And it was a perspective, I guess, when I realized, and I actually was able to get the fact that there's the energy in me, and there's the energy in them, and each of us, like drops into the ocean, I use this analogy a lot, are all part of one ocean. When we are done with this physical body, we no longer have the need to compete, to control, to manipulate, to get somebody back. And we're all the same ocean floating together. And if you can break down the boundaries in your mind of the physicality of our world and realize that just like the ocean, everything is constantly flowing in and around and through everything. When I go back to the ocean, it's not just the life that I lived that I am going to have the experience from. It is the life that they lived. It is the life that the most vile person has lived. It is the life that the meekest has lived. It is the life that the strongest has lived. It is every life which is why some people can be a reincarnated version of the same historical figure at the same time, and it can be multiple people because we all got the benefit of that experience of their life, and it became part of the ocean. That's number one. Number two, my life's better. It just is. I am more calm, I'm more comfortable, I laugh easier, I have fun easier, I am able to pursue what I want to pursue, I am able to sit down and read what I want to read. And a lot of this is in understanding that this existence is a gift, a beautiful, wonderful gift called the present. Ah, ha, 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 ha. But true. There are beyond trillions of drops in the ocean. And not all of them get to experience the kind of physicality that we have and the emotional range that comes with all of those physical parameters in this life. It's special. And being a creator of it at the same time that I am living in it is also special. And why am I creator? Because I get up and breathe in the morning. Because I speak truth into reality every day. Because I pursue knowledge, people, interests, truths. Because I take the time to manifest what I want. Instead of just, acting like I'm walking into a swarm of mosquitoes and not even swinging. I'm in a storm of mosquitoes. I'm going to get my face water. I'm going to start swinging. Just like you would. And all of that acts upon everything. If the energy in every living creature, the space in between all of the particles of every object, the vast space in the universe, all are built upon the same substructure of energy, then everything is fuel and everything is the ocean. And I am the ocean. So I am Alexander the Great, Cleopatra, just as much as I am Anessa. Just as much as I am you. And you are me. And there are steps that we have taken and roads that we traveled or didn't travel that are different from somebody else's experience. But we're curious about it, aren't we? What makes them tick? Why was it that choice that you took? We know why we took our choice. We don't know what would have happened had we taken another one until we get together with somebody who took another one and we talk to them and find out. Without judgment, simply interest and compassion. Am I being negative in the world? Well, let me ask you this. Is your world negative? Do things constantly hit you? Accidents and problems? And are you constantly having to face the wolf at the door? You're being too negative. If you were constantly being positive and doing the work to change your words and to feel the connection of all of us. With that comes grand importance and an understanding of how small we are in the universe too. If you are taking the steps to lead a more positive life, your life will reflect a more positive you. Your health will reflect a more positive you. Why? No, the energy at the core of it. And if you don't believe in energy, then there are chemicals put out by the brain in a state of anger or disgust or dismay that negatively impact your cell's ability to function and work. And if it happens for a long time, over and over and over again, then you get sick and your body starts to break down. That's a very good indicator that you are not being positive with your life, with other people, with the world. And granted, there's lots of things to be negative about. A lot of stuff that just sucks going on right now. Absolutely. But you decide where you want to live, because there is also a lot of stuff that is going on that's beautiful and wonderful. There's an old saying, you have two wolves at the door. One of them is kindness and compassion, and one of them is anger and distrust. If you get into a situation where you need those wolves, which one's going to show up for you? And the answer is the one you feed. If you feed anger and distrust all the time, the wolf that's showing up for you is anger and distrust. If you feed kindness and compassion, that will show up for you when you're in need. So, feed the right wolf. I don't have to point out to anyone that when you feel good, things go better. If you're expecting the other shoe to drop, it will. The life presents us challenges even when we are being as positive and compassionate as we can possibly be. But as a person who has experienced both sides and made myself terribly sick from one, yeah, that wolf, I can say I absolutely enjoy my life much better in kindness and compassion. And that's pretty simple. Changing from what you were taught, what you learned, what your examples were in the world when you were growing up, not always the easiest damn thing. It's not. It feels like, oh, I just changed my mind and it should all change for me. Well, it doesn't all change for you because your mind has been built over a period of time. Mine's had, 56 years to get rooted into some behaviors. It's not going to instantly turn around, but it is going to instantly start to change once I decide that I am going to start taking the steps towards feeding the other wolf. And then each step a little better, a little bit easier, a little bit more automatic and natural, and thinking a different way. And at a certain point, taking the steps becomes pleasurable even, and interesting, and you want to share it like I'm doing now. It changes everything. Pretty awesome. And it's something we do. That's something somebody told us we had to do. You don't have to. You can keep feeding the anger wolf. He'll show up for you. Or you can decide the rest of my time on this planet, in this vehicle, I'm going to decide to feed the other wolf. It's your choice. You don't have to do damn nothing. But now you know that with it being your choice, there is less to blame others about and complain about, because you're in the driver's seat. If you took a wrong road and you were holding the map, you're the one that's off course. And there is real beauty in owning that. Just own it. Well, damn, I screwed up. I did. All right, let's fix the problem. I don't have to blame someone else. I don't have to tear myself apart because I made a mistake. I acknowledge, hey, that was not something that got me the outcome I wanted. And so being a person who can think, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to laugh about it. I'm going to enjoy the moment of learning. We've done that, right? And then I'm going to go forward and I'm going to recognize, hey, all right, that happened. What do we do now? How do we take this forward? Do I need to fix it? Do I need to let it alone? What do I need to do? You figure it out, you do it, you move on. And it sounds super simple because it is. But everything is difficult until the moment that it becomes simple. So it's okay if it's a little difficult for a while. If you are changing a lifetime of feeding a wrong wolf, now you've built a relationship, haven't you? And it's hard to start feeding the other wolf. It got used to not being fed at all. So today, I think we're simply going to go in and open a bunch of doors and windows to allow for opportunities to make a choice whether I want to embrace feeding this wolf or that wolf in multiple areas of my life. And let me know how it works out. Okay, we're going to start off third eye. The third eye is where we take our own minds and help them to see outside of the parameters that we have built for them. And the parameters may have been built when you were a child, they may have been built when you were a young adult, but you have built parameters. What's okay, what's not okay, who's not okay, and I like this, I don't like that parameters. And they all fit into this wonderful little box that they're just certainties. But in the third eye, what we can do is we can take down the walls of those boxes. You could say, I don't like criminals. But A criminal is another person, and that other person shares the same energy as me and is part of the same ocean as I am. And what put their life on a trajectory to make those choices? Who knows? Maybe if I get to know them as a person, I will have a little bit more insight as to why they made different choices than I made. As a starting of compassion, instead of saying that's a criminal, it's a bad person, we tear down the walls of those boxes. We try to put ourselves in the other person's shoes. Is there a point in my life where I stole a candy bar from a grocery store and didn't get caught? What would happen if I got caught? What would have happened if my skin was a different color and they were watching me the whole time? And it's, 100 times easier to get caught doing some stupid little child thing. And how does that change a whole trajectory of a whole life or whole community? It's enormous. But learning about it gives you so many more choices than just judging it. So, into the third eye, tear down some box walls. Feel the energy. This is the place of intuition. This is the place when the two little angel and devil show up on our shoulders and start telling us what to do. Connect to the crown. Universal energy, the ocean. Our journey, the path that we signed up to walk. And the download of the next step to keep us moving forward. All love. All harmony. And particle-bound people, kind of boring, but beautiful. Bring it down. The older I get, the more I really appreciate a little bit of boring. Put your bare feet on the ground and let your electric body ground itself into the earth, just like you would a light switch. Connect to the energy of other particle bounds on the same planet. All of us in the same energy ocean. Into the mind palace and calm the tornado. Calm. All along the upper edge of the room are windows. Let's go through, and one by one we'll open those windows. To let opportunity in, to let choices in, to let new perspectives in, to let in uncomfortableness so that we can learn to be compassionate with those things that we have previously judged. Doors all the way around. These are synapse choices. Each one of these rooms, and there's just so many of them all the way around. And we're going to leave them all ajar. Because there's going to be choices about how I think and how I put out into the world going forward. And they're mine, based upon a collapsed box, open windows, and doors ajar. I'll go back into the third eye. Keep those box sides down on the ground, flat. Connect to the ocean, bring it down, feel the different areas and the different energies, colors harmonizing together, creating this wonderful balance of life. And know that it's your choice. Namaste.